Black Body, Women, Colonialism and Space by Radhika Mohanram explores the multifaceted nature of Black women's identity through a multidisciplinary analysis, challenging simplistic interpretations and static notions of blackness. The book emphasizes the importance of considering location as a crucial element in understanding and interpreting life stories, arguing that a character's identity shifts with different settings. Mohanram uses her own experiences as an Indian woman in India, the United States, and New Zealand to illustrate how the concept of blackness is dynamic and context-dependent. The book is structured into 3 parts. A theoretical exploration of terms like native, body, and nation, a historical examination of the native and settler dynamics in the Antipodes, New Zealand and Australia, and a treatise aimed at dislocating Black identity from static Western binary interpretations. The author challenges the prevailing idea of Black identity as a monolithic other in post-colonial discourse, arguing that Black is not a fixed or concrete part of identity construction. Mohanram complicates the notion of a universal Black identity, pointing to conflicts within the Third World and historical miscegenation. While she challenges the singularity of blackness, she acknowledges the reality of Black women being perceived as universally other. The text suggests that life is akin to a story, and politics involves a power struggle over who controls the narrative, how stories are told, and who assigns value to characters. Laws are portrayed as social mores imposed by certain characters on others, and capitalism is critiqued for prioritizing property and money over the individuals producing goods. The author contends that imperialists and colonialists dictate whose story is deemed worthy, while activism involves advocating for the voices of muted characters to be heard. In addition to exploring the dynamic nature of blackness, the author of Black Body, Women, Colonialism and Space, Radhika Mohanram, employs the concept of blackness to critically examine the construction of whiteness as the globally pervasive, yet often invisible, norm. In the first part of the book, Mohanram engages with influential theorists such as Frantz Fanon, Gayatri Spivak, Ella Shohut, Robert Stam, Edward Said, and Chandra Mohanty. Through this engagement, she deconstructs the perspectives of scholars like Claude Levi-Strauss, Sigmund Freud, and John Locke. Additionally, Mohanram draws on the insights of Judith Butler and Carol Pateman to establish connections between the body, citizenship, and nation, linking these concepts to race, gender, space, and property ownership. The author contends that each theorist contributes a piece to the larger puzzle, and it is only Mohanram argues that by interrogating the significance of place, readers can discern the widespread patterns of exploitation and appropriation faced by Black women, appreciate the specificities of their subjugation, and recognize the unique strategies they employ for empowerment. In the second part of the book, Mohanram delves into case studies of Black women in New Zealand and Australia, revealing the complexities inherent in the relationship between cultural identity and nationhood. She highlights Maori feminists as both stewards of the land and subjects to it. The author draws comparisons between the bicultural context of New Zealand and the multicultural landscape of Australia, emphasizing that without a specific geographic context, the meanings of Black women's experiences become conflated, overshadowed, or lost. Furthermore, Mohanram critically examines the construction of white femininity as the standard measure of womanhood, by analyzing letters from white women in the Antipodes, dating back to the 1850s. In the third part of the book, Mohanram challenges post-colonial theorists to re-evaluate the significance of place in the human narrative. While acknowledging that the importance of place is not a new concept in post-colonial theory, she effectively demonstrates that location plays a more active and dynamic role in the construction of meaning than many theorists have previously recognized. In her critique, Mohanram denounces Eurocentric colonialism and cultural imperialism, urging Third World theorists to move beyond oversimplified similarities in their consideration of race and gender relationships. She emphasizes the failure of some theorists, including Fanon, Spivak, and Said, to address problems arising from the neglect of place. The author argues that acknowledging the complexity of relationships mediated by indigenous, settler, immigrant, refugee, or citizenship status does not undermine racialized solidarity movements, but necessitates activists to honestly recognize differences for more authentic relations. Just as there exist diverse narratives and approaches to storytelling, the examination of how stories unfold encompasses various academic disciplines. Anthropology, psychology, and sociology offer avenues to explore characters, their attributes, and social dynamics. History serves as a lens for understanding motivations, events, plots, and conflicts. In the realm of Black studies, there is a fundamental belief that Black individuals are not merely supporting characters, but protagonists in their own narratives. Similarly, women's studies assert that women are central characters and not mere appendages to men's stories.